Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Your Excellency, President of the Senate, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum, Chairman, National Chairman, All Progressives Congress, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Staff to the President, Ministers Designate, Permanent Secretaries, Senior Government Officials, resource persons here present, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to this two-day presidential retreat for ministers, designates, presidential aides, federal permanent secretaries, and top government functionaries. And to welcome us officially to this event is the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa.
Speaker, the National Chairman of the APC, the Chief of Staff to the President, Ministers Designate, Permanent Secretary, heads of government agencies here present, our resource persons, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this important occasion of the presidential retreat for ministers designate, permanent secretaries, and top government functionaries, holding today at the State House Conference Center, Abuja. This retreat is designed to prepare and sensitize cabinet members on the status of policies, programs, and projects of government and the roadmap towards the delivery of its priority and next level agenda for 2019 to 2023. It will also provide opportunity to deepen the understanding of participants on best practices in conducting government business. Other specific objectives include: 1, discussion on the critical enablers to success, such as collaboration with other arms of government; 2, tracking and monitoring as the basis of performance management; and 3, ensure all members are fully aware of essential government procedures, such as procurement, Federal Executive Council processes, and the role of the permanent secretaries in the ministries, departments, and agencies. Let me, on behalf of the ministers designate and other appointees, use this opportunity to formally thank His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for finding us worthy to serve the nation in different capacities at this critical period of our national existence. This call to service requires all of us to fully share in the President's vision and agenda for our country. As members of the President's team, it behoves on us to join him in providing the leadership required to develop Nigeria and lift the bulk of its people out of poverty. This presidential retreat is intended to further prepare us to be able to share in this vision and sense of purpose. Let me quickly reiterate that as ministers of the Federal Republic, you will be required to work to the high standards of integrity, discipline, and dedication that have been set by the President in his long career in the service of the country. I would also like to remind you that of all the functions you will be called upon to perform as minister, none is more important than to help the President deliver the policies, programs, and projects required to move the nation to the next level. As the President says, our legacy will lie in how much we are able to deliver on this front, not on how much patronage we extend to close associates and supporters. As you are aware, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as amended, describes the Federal Executive Council as the principal organ for making policy decisions in the country. Indeed, Section 148, subsection 1 and 2, A to C, explicitly specifies the responsibilities of the Federal Executive Council. It also stipulates that the President shall hold regular meetings with the Vice President and all the ministers of the government of the Federation for the purposes of 1, determining the general direction of the domestic and foreign policies of the government of the Federation, 2, coordinating the activities of the President, the Vice President, and the ministers of the government of the Federation in the discharge of their executive responsibilities, and 3, advising the President generally in the discharge of his executive functions with respect to which he is required by the Constitution to seek the advice or act on the recommendation of any other person or body. It is therefore clear that the activities of ministers is a constitutional responsibility which requires focus on policy decisions, implementation, and coordination. You also have a leading role in your ministry in formulating and implementing and tracking policies, programs, projects, and communicating the impact. It is equally important that you keep the focus on this core function of your offices, as this is where your role has the greatest significance for the President and the public. Distinguished participants, let me remind us that the task of governance requires patience, dedication, and total commitment to the social contract that we have entered with the Nigerian people, especially in realization of the yearnings for quick delivery of the dividends of democracy to the people. Most of the critical work you will do will not be seen by the public. Endless hours spent preparing and reviewing memoranda, obtaining and understanding the information and data on issues, analyzing the various dimensions and policy options, ensuring that budgets and expenditure are credible and accountable, extensively engaging with the poor and vulnerable segments of our political constituencies outside the glare of the press, among others. These are some of the activities that gets appreciated by the public. Hence, I would suggest that you take time to do this well, knowing that the results would eventually manifest and be appreciated by the citizens. As ministers, it is vital that the result of all our work connect to the aspirations of the people. This retreat is aimed at preparing us for the success that I know we are all committed to achieving. Although we acknowledge that we may not be able to cover everything that needs to be addressed, we have provided a complete reference document to serve as quick reference in the discharge of your ministerial duties. I urge you to go through and keep to hand as appropriate. I am looking forward with my team from the Cabinet Affairs Office of the Office of the Secretary to the Government to working together over these next 2 days with all of you. I encourage you to participate actively in all the sessions of the retreat, to ask questions, contribute your perspective, and also think critically about what you hear at this retreat and how it will shape the way we would walk over the next 4 years. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to shoulder the responsibility of preparing your team that would help you and assist you to deliver on your promises to the Nigerian people. And I thank all of you for coming. I thank particularly our resource persons. And I wish each and every one of us a very fruitful discussion in the course of this next 2 weeks. Thank you, and God bless you.
That was the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. And we give him another round of applause. Now we have come to the formal opening of this 2-day retreat. And that will be done by no less a person than His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Mr. President.
Ably represented, the chairman of all progressive with whom we shall be working closely for the next 4 years, God willing. Secondly, reflect and assess the country's position in 2015 and today. And thirdly, chart a course for the country for the foreseeable future. I congratulate all the newcomers who your country has chosen above others to join the first-term ministers whose performance has been outstanding. All of you are appointed to assist and advise the President in running the affairs of our country. At the end of the retreat, it is hoped that all of you will be in tune with the roles and the responsibilities of positions you will occupy in government. Many national issues require unified decisions. It is a great privilege for you to be called upon to serve in these great offices of state, and you must grasp the chance with 2 hands and put in your best efforts, as Nigeria today needs top managers to handle our numerous challenges. There will be long hours, and you must be prepared to live laborious days if we are to serve our people optimally. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all aware of the looming demographic potential of our country. By average estimates, our population is close to 200 million people today. By 2050, the United Nations estimates put Nigeria third globally, behind only India and China, with a projected population of 411 million people. This is a frightening prospect, but only if we sit idly by and expect handouts from so-called developing partners. The solution to our problem lies with us. Honorable Ministers Designate, in our first term, we identified 3 salient areas for close attention and action. namely to secure the country, to improve the economy, and to fight corruption. None but the most partisan will dispute that we have made headway in all three areas. First, we have rolled back the frontiers of terrorism. We are actively addressing other challenges, such as kidnapping, farmer-herder violence, improving the safety of our roads, railways, air traffic, and fire control capabilities. Second, we are steadily turning the economy around through investment in agriculture, manufacturing, shoring up our foreign reserves, curbing inflation, improving the country's infrastructure. Third, on corruption, we have recovered hundreds of billions of stolen assets and are actively pursuing control measures to tackle leakages in public resources. We will not let up in fighting corruption. As ministers, I am counting on you, together with advisors and Nigerians willing and able to contribute to build upon our roadmap of policies, programs, and projects that will lift the bulk of our people out of poverty and set them on the road to prosperity. Our administration's 8 years will have laid the grounds for lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. This outcome will fundamentally shift Nigeria's trajectory and place us among the world's great nations. Honorable Ministers Designate, you will be responsible for the development and implementation of policies, programs, and projects in your various ministries, departments, Honorable Ministers Designate, you must work as a team. Although you have been chosen to represent your state, the constitutional imperative is vital for all of you to work as Nigerians. Furthermore, working as a team demands that we know what the next person is doing. You must open communications with your colleagues. Lack of communications leads to lack of cooperation and suboptimal performance. Finally, although this is called a retreat, I would like to think this is a preparation for an advance to the next level. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you peaceful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. President. Before the next presentation, which is going to be done by His Excellency, the Vice, the agenda of this two-day retreat. And as we do that, if you have observations, questions, and comments, just note them, and at the appropriate time, you can make input. Meanwhile, can our friends in the media take their exit at this point? Thank you. Like I said earlier, we are going to have overview of the policies, programs, and projects audit committee report, which will be taken by His Excellency, the Vice President. After that session, We will have another overview, which is of the national security and anti-corruption agenda. Two people are going to speak to us at that session. The first person will be the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, retired. And then we'll also listen to Professor Femi Odekunle, who is a member, Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption. Overview of the national security and anti-corruption agenda. Members of the Army Band and other aides of ministers, designate, and other government officials who are here can also please take their exit now. They may stand by if they are needed. Their presence will be requested again. Thank you. Context setting and framing for key priorities for the next 4 years will come up from about midday, lasting for 30-35 minutes. Context setting and framing for key priorities for the next 4 years. That will be followed by a question and answer session. After that, we'll have breakout sessions. Guidelines will be given to us on those breakout sessions and the things we'll be doing in the different groups. After the breakout sessions, it will be time for lunch. There will be some time for lunch and a little rest, starting from 1:15. But by 2 p.m., we will reconvene and have another breakout session. There will be discussions across different priority areas in the different groups that will be constituted. After that session, reports will be then presented to plenary. From 4:15, we will have preparation on key priority areas to plenary, and about 6:30 p.m., we will close for the day. During the lunch break, Mr. President will step out, go to the office, but he will still join us for the evening session. So we can see that it's a full day with Mr. President participating fully. Tomorrow in the morning, we'll start the same 10:30 a.m. as at today. And the first session will be enablers for government delivery. Enablers for government delivery. In that session, there will be introduction to cabinet processes and setting the stage for a policy execution focused administration. Government best practice and delivery. It will be taken by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
At NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
For anyone who values financial security and ultimately desires financial freedom, creating at least one additional stream is no longer a luxury. It has become a necessity. Diversifying your income stream is crucial to protect yourself and your family against the unavoidable ups and downs of economic and industry cycles. Because of the financial risk that come from relying on one source of income, such as a job or a business, consider creating at least one or more additional streams to generate cash flow. The benefits of having multiple streams of income include peace of mind because you know there will always be money to spend. Also, you will earn much more than you currently earn from your day's job. Therefore, you will live bigger and better. Your additional income streams can be active, passive, or a combination.